Perfect. Yeah, we are live on all three. Very nice. Um, okay, we're good. Live streams are up. Live streams are up. Um, Chats are connected. We should be good to go. Who's excited for another chapter? I have the book right here. I'll get started in a couple minutes. I'm just gonna wait just in case people want to join in. Yeah, buddy. And like I said, we'll go in a couple minutes. Gotta get that quick. Give me a sec. Let me just update that. There we go. Beautiful. I did. We're gonna be playing. We're gonna be reading in a second. 5 minutes. A couple minutes. We're gonna be reading. This is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Specifically, it's the Slytherin edition. Hi, Kaiser. How are you? I know. Well, I was like I said, I just got home, so I was chatting with the family, and so I was like, you know, I'll be a bit late tonight. This is my house. Oh, I'm a Slytherin. That's why I have the Slytherin edition. Yeah. Make sure to share the live as well, guys, in the TikTok chat as well. Get more people in, and liking it as well gets more viewers in as well. If you could do that for me too, that would be greatly appreciated. Um, 3 minutes, guys. We're getting into the reading. Who's excited? Who's excited? Unfortunately, the oh wait, Karma, are you there? You there, Karma? Okay. So no, you're here. I can see you chatting now. So I recently, like I said on the Discord today, my bird came back. So she will be joining me on live streams from now on. She'll be in my room when I live stream. It's up, might be on my end. I was having a bit of issues this evening with my end. Hi, Rut. You there? Guys, 2 minutes until we read. Again, it's gonna be a smaller chapter tonight. It's only about 10 pages. Very little. Yo, what's up, Rut? I know. I remember, guys, on the TikTok live, liking and sharing the live stream really helps me. Thank you, Sosa. You did. You know what? You know what? That got me there. I'm gonna be honest. That got me, guys. Was that really loud for you? Was that really loud for you guys? Also, for those who don't know, I'm live. Oh, nice. I'm live on the Purple app right now as well. And that's what happens when people subscribe to me on the Purple app. That's what happens when people... Well, it needs to be loud, bro. I want it to be loud. That's what I was saying. I was asking because I want it to be loud. It's funny. It's a great way for people to find something funny. And it's not going to play it too much. Because... because it's subscribed. So I don't get that many subscribers, so... Oof, heck yeah. That's so sick. I'm actually... You guys notice how close I am to 1,000 followers on TikTok? $9.44, right? Okay, guys, we're reading now. We're reading. Yeah, buddy, I'm so keen for the pack opening. Okay. Here we go. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Chapter 18, Moony, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs. It took a few seconds for the absurdity of this statement to sink in. Then, Ron voiced what Harry was thinking. "You're both mental!" "Ridiculous," said Hermione faintly. "Peter Pettigrew's dead," said Harry. He was killed 12 years ago." He pointed at Black, whose face twitched convulsingly. "I meant to," he growled, his yellow teeth bared. "But little Peter got the better of me. Not this time, though." And Crookshanks was thrown to the floor as Black lunged at Scabbers. Ron yelled with pain as Black's weight fell onto his broken leg. "Sirius, no!" Lupin yelled, launching himself forward and dragging away Black from Ron again. "Wait! You can't do it just like that. They need to understand. We've got to explain." "We can explain afterwards," snarled Black, trying to throw Lupin off him, one hand still clawing the air as he tried to reach Scabbers, who was squealing like a piglet, scratching Ron's face and neck, trying to escape. "They've got to know everything," Lupin panted, still trying to restrain Black. "Ron's kept them a pet. They are part of it even I don't understand. And Harry, you owe Harry the truth, Sirius." Black stopped struggling, though his hollow eyes were still fixed on Scabbers, who was clamping tightly under Ron's bitten, scratched, and bleeding hands. All right then, said Black without taking his eyes off the rat. Tell him everything you like, but make it quick, Ramus. I want to commit murder I was in prison. I want to commit the murder I was in prison for. You're nutters, both of you, said Ron shakily, looking round at Harry and Ron for support. I've had enough of this. I'm off. He tried to heave himself up onto his good leg, but Lupin raised his wand, pointing at Scabbers. You're not going anywhere, Ron. Hear me out, he said quietly. Just keep a tight hold of Peter while you listen. He's not Peter! He's Scabbers! Ron yelled, trying to force the rat back into his front pocket, but Scabbers was fighting too hard. Ron swayed and overbalanced, and Harry caught him, pushed him back up onto the bed. Then, ignoring Black, Harry turned to Lupin. There were witnesses who saw Peter die, he said. A whole street full of them. They didn't see what they thought they saw, said Black savagely, still watching Scabbers in Ron's hand. Everyone thought Sirius killed Peter, said Lupin, nodding. I believed it myself until I saw the map tonight. Because the Marauder's map never lies. Peter's alive. Ron's holding him, Harry. Harry looked down at Ron, and as their eyes met, they silently agreed. Black and Lupin were both out of their minds. The story made no sense whatsoever. How could Scabbers be Peter Pettigrew? Azkaban must have unhinged Black after all, but why was Lupin playing along with him? Then Hermione spoke, in a trembling, would-be calm sort of voice, as though trying to will Professor Lupin to talk sensibly. But Lupin, Scabbers can't be Pettigrew. It just can't be true. You know it can't. Why can't it be true? Said Lupin calmly, as though they were in class, and Hermione had simply spotted a problem in an experiment with the Grindylows. Because people would know if Peter Pettigrew had been an animagus. We did animagus class in Professor McGonagall's, and I looked them up when I did my homework. The Ministry keeps tabs on witches and wizards who can become animals. There's a register showing what animals they become, and their markings and things. And I went and looked Professor McGonagall up on the register, and there have only been 7 animagus this century, and Peter Pettigrew's name was not on that list. Harry barely had time to marvel inwardly at the effort Hermione put in towards her homework, when Lupin started to laugh. Right again, Hermione, he said. But the Ministry never knew that there used to be 3 unregistered animagus running around Hogwarts. If you're going to tell him the story, get a move on, Ramus, snarled Black, who was still watching Scabbers' every move desperately. I've waited 12 years. I'm not going to wait much longer. All right. But you'll need to help me, Sirius, said Lupin. I only know how to begin. Lupin broke off. There had been a loud creak behind him. The bedroom doors had opened on its own accord. All 5 of them stared at it. Then Lupin strode towards it and looked at it again. No one was there. This place is haunted, said Ron. It's not, said Lupin, still looking at the door in a puzzled way. The Shrieking Shack was never haunted. The screams and the howls the villagers used to hear were made by me. He pushed his greying hairs out of his eyes, thought for a moment, then said, That's where all this starts, with my becoming a werewolf. None of this could have happened if I hadn't been bitten, and if I hadn't been so foolhardy. He looked sober and turned and tired. Ron started to interrupt. Hermione said, Shh! He was watching Lupin very intently. I was a very small boy when I received the bite. My parents tried everything, but in those days there was no cure. The potion that Professor Snape has been making me is a very recent discovery. It makes me safe, you see. As long as I take it, in the week preceding the full moon, I keep my mind when I transform, and I am able to curl up in my office, a harmless wolf, and wait for the moon to wane again. Before the Wolfbane potion was discovered, however, I became a fully fledged monster once a month. It seemed impossible that I could be able to come to Hogwarts. Other parents weren't likely to want their children exposed to me. By then, Dumbledore became headmaster, and he was sympathetic. He said, as long as we took certain precautions, that there was no reason I shouldn't come to school. Lupin sighed and looked directly at Harry. I told you, months ago, that the Whomping Willow was planted the year before I came to Hogwarts. The truth is that it was planted because I had come to Hogwarts. This house, Lupin looked miserably around the room. The tunnel leads to it, and they were built for my use. Once a month, I was smuggled out into the castle and into this place to transform. The tree was placed at the tunnel mouth to stop anyone from coming across me while I was dangerous. Harry couldn't see where this story was going, but he kept listening raptly all the same. The only sound apart from Lupin's voice was Scabbers' frightened squeaking. My transformation in those days were terrible, but it was very painful to turn into a werewolf. I was separated from human to bite, but I bit and scratched myself instead. The villagers heard the noises and the screaming and thought they were hearing particularly violent spirits. Dumbledore encouraged the rumor. Even now, when the house has been silent for years, the villagers don't dare approach it. But apart from my transformations, I was happier than I had ever been in my whole life. For the first time ever, I had friends. 3 great friends. Sirius Black, Peter Pettigrew, and of course, your father, Harry James Potter. Now, my 3 friends could hardly fail to notice that I disappear once a month. I made up all sorts of stories. Told them my mother was ill and that I had to go home to see her. I was terrified they would desert me the moment they found out of what I was, of course. But they, like you, Hermione, worked out the truth. And they didn't desert me after all. Instead, they did something for me that would make my transformations not only bearable, but the best times of my life. They became animagus too. My dad, said Harry astoundedly. Yes, indeed, said Lupin. It took the best part of 3 years to work out how to do it. Your father and Sirius here were the cleverest students in the school, and lucky they were, because the animagus transformation can go horribly wrong. One reason the Ministry keeps a close eye on those attempting to do it. Peter needed all the help he could get, from James and Sirius. Finally, in our 5th year, they managed it. They could each turn into a different animal at will. But how did that help you? Said Hermione, sounding puzzled. They couldn't keep company as humans, they kept me company as animals, said Lupin. A werewolf is only dangerous to people. They sneaked out of the castle every month under James's invisibility cloak. They transformed. Peter, as the smallest, would slip beneath the whomping willow's attacked branches and touch the knot that freezes it. They would then slip down the tunnel and join me. Under the influence, I became less dangerous. My body was still wolfish, but my mind seemed to become less so when I was with them. Hurry up, Remus! Snarled Black, who was still watching Scabbers with a horrible sort of hunger. I'm getting there, Sirius, I'm getting there. Well, highly exciting possibilities was opened up to us now that we could all transform. Soon, we were leaving the Shrieking Shack and roaming the school grounds in the village by night. Sirius and James transformed into such large animals they were able to keep a wolf in check. I doubt whether any Hogwarts students ever found out more about the student Hogwarts grounds for Hogsmeade than we did. And that's how we came to write the Marauders map and sign it with our nicknames. Sirius is Padfoot, Peter is Wormtailed, James was Prongs. What sort of animal? Harry began, but Hermione cut him off. This was really dangerous. Running around in the dark with a werewolf. What if you'd given the others the slip and bitten somebody? A thought that still haunts me, said Lupin heavily. And there were near misses, many of them. We laughed about them afterwards. We were young, thoughtless, carried away by our own cleverness. I sometimes felt guilty about betraying Dumbledore's trust, of course. He had admitted me to Hogwarts when no other headmaster would have done so, and he had no idea I was breaking the rules he had set down for my own and others' safety. He knew I had led 3 fellow students into becoming animagi illegally. But I always managed to forget my guilty feelings every time we sat down to plan our next month's adventure. I haven't changed. Lupin's face hardened, and there was self-disgust in his voice. All this time, I've been battling with myself, wondering whether I should tell Dumbledore that Sirius was an animagus, but I didn't do it. Why? Because I was too cowardly. It would have meant admitting that I betrayed his trust while I was at school, admitting that I'd led others along with me. Dumbledore's trust means everything to me. He let me into Hogwarts as a boy and gave me a job when I have been shunned all my adult life, unable to find paid work because of what I am. And so, I convinced myself that Sirius was getting into school using dark magics he learnt from Voldemort. That, being an animagus, had nothing to do with it. So, in a way, Snape's being right about me all along. Snape! Said Black harshly, taking his eyes off Scabbers for the first time in minutes and looking up at Lupin. What's Snape got to do with this? He's here, Sirius, said Lupin heavily. He's teaching a class here. He looked up Harry, Ron, and Hermione. He looked up at Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Professor Snape was at this school with us. He fought very hard against my appointment to the Defense Against the Dark Arts job. He had been telling Dumbledore all year that I am not to be trusted. He had his reasons. You see, Sirius never played a trick. Sirius here played a trick on him which nearly killed him. A trick which involved me. Black made a derisive noise. It served him right, he sneered, sneaking around trying to find out what we're up to, hoping you could get us all expelled. Severus was very interested in where I went every month, Lupin told Harry, Ron, and Hermione. We were in the same year, and we didn't like each other very much. He especially disliked James. Jealous, I think, of James' talent on the Quidditch pitch. Anyway, Snape had seen me crossing the grounds with Madame Pomfrey one evening as she led me towards the Whomping Willow to transform. Sirius thought it would be amusing to tell Snape all he had to do was prod the knot of the tree trunk with a long stick and he'd be able to get in after me. Well, of course, Snape tried it. If he'd got as far as this house, he'd have met my fully grown werewolf. Father, who'd heard that Sirius had done, went after Snape and pulled him back at the great risk to his life. Snape glimpsed me, though at the end of the tunnel. He was forbidden to tell anyone by Dumbledore, but from that time on, he knew what I was. So, that's why Snape doesn't like you, Harry said slowly. Because he thought you were in on the joke. That's right, he sneered a cold voice. That's right, he sneered a cold voice from the wall behind Lupin. Severus Snape was pulling off the invisibility cloak. His wand pointed directly at Lupin. Bum, bum, bum. Uh-oh, that was not a big chapter, but a lot happened. That was a lot happened in that chapter. Holy. Guys, what do we think? Busy, right? It's it was a small chapter, but a lot happened in that chapter. Like a lot happened in that chapter. Yeah, it's getting crazy. Getting crazy, guys. Anyway, for tomorrow's live stream, I'm gonna go through and update the stream schedule tonight. It's gonna stay relatively the same. Again with the TBD on the weekends because I have another BMX race meet. There'll still be reading chapters on the weekends. That might not be gaming sessions. I mean, but I will go through and update the stream schedule tonight. And tomorrow, for those who are interested, will be the first gaming session that I'm going to try bringing in my bird, Mrs. Warner. Yeah. Thank you, Rod. And we're almost finished. Look how close we are to finishing this book, by the way. Look how close we are. A tiny little bit left. Herb. She was Cockatiel. You'll see her tomorrow. She's a legend. She'll be on in-stream tomorrow. She was kind of annoying tonight, but I think she'll calm down once she, I love her. That's okay. Again, the VODs will be up. The VODs will be up for you to, listen to if you want to in the future. Third. Yeah, guys. I'm probably gonna do 8 a.m. tomorrow. 8 to 11 a.m. for the stream tomorrow. For those who are interested, that's Australian Standard Time. Also, for those who are in the Discord, I'm just gonna let you know, I can't tonight. She's asleep, guys. I can't tonight. So unfortunately, my server boosts are about to run out. I'm losing some server boosts. So we're gonna lose the level 1 in the Discord server, and we're gonna lose the server tags as well, unfortunately, guys. But hopefully we eventually get some more boosts in the server so we can have those again. Unfortunately as well, if we lose any more boosts, we are also gonna lose the the, the server as well. I don't think we will though. I mean, I think it really depends. Yeah, I think there's 4 boosts running out in a couple days. The server should stay up, guys. The server should be fine. Not the Discord server. I'm talking about the Palworld server. I'm talking about the Palworld server. Like I said, it's up to the it's not up to me. I'm already boosting my server. I don't have enough money to boost it anymore, unfortunately. So it's up to you guys. If you want the stuff, unfortunately. I would do it more, but I genuinely don't have the money right now. Yeah, you guys can say hello to... You got like a mini vacuum cleaner. Yeah, right. But yeah, like I've been saying, I'm hoping in the future, obviously if I grow more, I'm hoping to get more server boosts. But it's a type of thing. This server, my streaming is gonna have its ups and it's gonna have its downs. I'm not expecting to do amazing every stream, especially since I've been away for a couple of days. I'm not expecting every stream to pop off. But like we are gonna have moments where we're pretty dead. But that's just streaming as a small streamer. Can't expect it all to go great. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go to bed. I'll quickly edit the that's it. I'll quickly edit the stream schedule before I go to bed. But it'll be tomorrow is gonna be 8 to 11, those who are interested. And for those who didn't see it, I did some crazy on the TikTok live over the weekend. I'm gonna add it as like the thing. Every time we get it happened, by the way, Karma. It was crazy. You're gonna be so weirded out when I tell you this. Every time we get 2,000 gems in one live stream, I twerked on live stream, Karma. It was a low point in my life. I threw it back. Yeah. I think everybody knows by this point. But I said it as like a joke. I said it as a joke. I was like, hey guys, if we hit 2,000 gems in 20 minutes, I will twerk. And we got 2,000 gems. It was crazy. Yeah, my digital footprint's getting wilder and wilder. But yeah, I'm gonna have it now. Every time I hit 2,000. It went for 45 seconds. I twerked for 45 seconds. Well, the live stream itself went for longer than 20 minutes, but we set the goal in the last 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Well, I can definitely Dougie better, but I just don't like that trashy dance. So is twerking. Twerking is no better, but I made $20 from that. I was going crazy. Anyway, I do have to go. I'm very tired. Also, I gotta go to the gym again for the first time tomorrow. Okay. I'm in the live, guys. I'm in the live. I'll see you guys later. I'm in the live in 3, 2, 1. Bye bye.